Welcome back to another Battleborn character preview, and this time we've got Reyna. Reyna's someone I'm really excited about because we have Ambra and Miko as kind of healers, but Reyna's more of just a support character, and so far she's, I guess, really the only really support character I've seen or noticed, or one I really consider to be true support and not medic. I'm thinking we're going to see some other ones, but so far she's it. And she looks pretty interesting. She's got kind of her claw gun off hammer thing, her sideways gun. But yeah, let's just dig into her and see what she's like here. Her bio. Oh, she's also a rogue, which we haven't seen too many rogues yet. Bio. Known as the Valkyrie, Reyna Valeria is one of the few Battleborns native to the Solus system, and the ad-hoc leader of the rogues. Reyna uses her command glove to shield her allies from danger and mark targets for swift retribution. So, Reyna doesn't have a ton of health, 2 out of 5. She doesn't have a ton of power, which makes sense for support. Her range is a 3 out of 5, which isn't great, and so is her speed. So, stat-wise, she doesn't look very fantastic. But we know it's the skills that make the character. So here's her image. I definitely like the style of her design. I think rogues look interesting in general. And I'm kind of interested in seeing the rest of them pop through. Here's just kind of a shot of her from a first person's perspective. And there you see her command glove along with her pistol. So let's get down to her stuff. Laser pistol. Reyna's primary attack utilizes her lethal laser pistol to deal damage to enemies. Generic. Plasma pulse. Reyna's secondary attack launches shield-melting plasma pulses from her command gauntlet, dealing 50% bonus to shields. That's actually pretty cool. Clearing those shields so you can pound down their health. That also goes nice with support. You can do that, clear the shield so your other big heavy hitters can just take down their health bar. Her first special ability, Shield Booster, right here that I'm highlighting, applies an overshield to a target ally that blocks up to 315 damage over the next 8 seconds. During the time, Reyna's Plasma Pulse can charge the target's shield. This is very, very cool. Because maybe primarily on Eldred, but I mean everyone is going to help to put a shield on them. But the Eldred don't naturally have shields, but you can put a shield on them. So if they're balanced around not having shields, because they have faster health regen or sometimes tanky, they all work a little different. So far we've seen Miko and Thorn, who have rapid health regeneration, but they're kind of low health, fast moving. Then you have Boulder, who's slower, tankier with the health. So any of these guys, if you're putting overshields on them, you're going to really, really increase their survival. Because they'll be able to regen their health underneath that shield quite easily. Next is Priority Target. Fires a homing blast that deals 81 damage, which is pretty low, but plus 50% to shield, so solid damage on shields. And reveals the target's position. That target takes 116 incoming damage for the next 6 seconds. And that should be from all your teammates, I believe. So you're debuffing a guy. You can strip their shields pretty easily and put a debuff to make them easy targets for your teammates to kill. This is very cool. It's kind of like Kunai, oddly enough, that hopefully Gearbox is fixing. But this is about Battleborn, so I'm not going to focus on that. Next is her ultimate, Photonic Ward. Deploys a large energy dome that immediately knocks enemies out of that area and continues to block enemy fire from entering or exiting for 6 seconds. So this is just like a safety bubble for your teammates. In the height of battle, you can really save their asses. Once again, support, but non-healing support, so this is cool. If you have a 5... Actually, I'll finish the passives, and I'll go into that rant. Failsafe. When Reyna places a shield booster overcharge on an ally, she receives one as well. which also makes her be able to survive a lot better. So we're going to see. I don't know how well it's going to work out. Like, I don't know if she'll be good enough to replace a healer depending on your team. But it seems to me if you have a Reyna and then a Ambra or a Miko or whatever other healers we see on your team, but then you have 3 healthy DPS characters, you know, maybe a melee, a gun, whatever, a mix of them, it seems like a pretty damn good combo on a team. You know, support, healer, 3 damage dealers. Because it's not like your healers can't do damage. In Reyna, it's not like she can't help knock them down, especially with her bonus to shield damage. So she can be really useful taking down the shields. You know, Miko can have a lot of slowdown effects and is poison, or it's poison, whatever Miko is. You know, Ambra can heal and do quite a bit of damage herself. So it's not like these characters are that gimped that they can't contribute. But adding them in seems like a pretty damn awesome combo. But let's get on to the Helix tree. So, electrostatic induction. Well, under the effects of shield booster, allies receive a constant passive shield recharge bonus, 15 shield per second. That's awesome. So not only do they have that overshield, but it regens. Waste reduction. Increase the speed and range of priority target's homing blast. If priority targets fails to mark a target, half the cooldown is refunded. Plus 67 speed and range. That's pretty sweet too. God, these are both so good at tier 1. Make your characters more tanky, or make your enemies more squishy. I really like that cooldown bonus too, so if you miss your priority target, you get it back faster to reapply it. That sounds damn good as well. I don't know which one of these I like better. They're both awesome, so I'm just going to move on and say you pick which one. Maybe it's going to depend on the rest of the tree. We'll see, or maybe it just depends on the battle or your playstyle. And that's good design. It shouldn't be an easy choice every time. Priority Plasma on the left here, Tier 2. Plasma Pulse shots home in on enemies marked with priority target. That's really sweet. Or Lockdown. Reyna's Laser Pistol and Plasma Pulse briefly slow enemies marked with priority target for 3 seconds. Which is also awesome. I kind of like that one a little bit more, because if you mark an enemy for priority targets for 6 seconds and you slow them down, they're going to die. But if you mark them and they can kind of run away to safety, yeah, that's good. You've kind of chased them out of that battlefield, but I'd rather just kill them. So, Tier 3 here, Plasma Burst. Plasma Pulse Fire explodes on impact, dealing damage to nearby enemies. Adding an AoE is definitely a cool thing. Or Optical Amplifier. Increase laser pistols damage plus 18%. So this is another one where it's going to kind of be depending on your play mode. I've done this with a lot of skills, but if you have a group of crowded enemies in one play mode, AoE is better. If enemies are more spread out in another, if it's straight PvP, the extra damage is definitely going to win out. Vital Protocol. When shield booster overcharge, when a shield booster overshield, struggling with this one, is applied, it instantly restores a portion of the wearer's health, plus 350 health. That's a good chunk of health in this game, so that's really sweet. Man, shield booster's already getting kind of crazy. Or Vengeance Protocol. When a shield booster over shield is applied, it explodes, damaging nearby enemies, plus 280 damage. That's also pretty cool if you have a lot of melee characters. You know, you're up close and personal, you give a shield to your ally while hurting the enemies. What's not to love about that? You throw it on Wrath while he's doing his ultimate spin, and Yeah, he's so close to the enemies with that. Yeah, but it depends. Do your teammates need help dealing out more damage, or do they need help surviving? I think it's a simple question like that. So it might just depend on your teammates on this one and how they play and which characters they picked. You know, if you're playing with like Thorn and Marquis, Vital Protocol is definitely the way to go. But I'm kind of leaning towards Vital Protocol, little one on this anyways, I think. Improvised tactics. While failsafe is active, all of Reyna's active cooldowns are reduced 15% cooldown timer. That's really sweet. Because, yeah, that applies to all three, and since shield boosters are first one, the cooldown on that probably isn't that low, which means you can quite often activate this to get your other stuff going. That sounds really good. Or thermal equilibrium. Prevents Reyna's plasma pulse from overheating while failsafe is active. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't sound bad either. Depending on what the overheat, how fast you can fire it and all that. I don't know the balance of that, so it's hard to tell. But without knowing the balance of that, improvised tactics looks a little better. But have to actually see her in action to know that. Tier 6 here. Vigilance. Increases the amount of damage absorbed by shield booster over shields before it breaks. Another 113 tier shield booster. Awesome. It was, yeah, 315 naturally, plus that, plus you can add the shield regen to it, and health. This all sounds awesome. First Strike. Increases initial impact damage of priority target, plus 107 damage. And that over doubles that, because it only has 81 to start with, plus 50 to shields. That changes it to 188. But then the plus 50 bonus to shields, if that applies to the 107 as well, then you're going to really melt shields with that. That actually might be a little bit better, because if you melt their shield that much when you hit them with a priority target, it's going to be that much easier to kill them. But at that point, you're looking at adding 94 more damage to shields on that, so 188 plus 94, yeah, you're getting up there. Shield Sapper. When Plasma Pulse damages an enemy's shield, a portion of that damage is restored to Reyna's shield. Does not function while Reyna's shield is down. 20% shield steal, that sounds pretty good for keeping Reyna up and helping your teammates. Especially when failsafe also does that, so it seems like you can just keep getting your shield restored. Pulse Pounder. Increases Plasma Pulse base damage 18%. Depends if your team needs you to do more damage, or you need to stay alive to support your team. I'm thinking Shield Sapper a little bit here, because the way I'm looking at her is just mainly keeping in it so you can help your team more. But of course, another 18% damage, you get another 50% bonus to shield damage, so that's even more than 18% on shields. Most Wanted increases the duration of priority target for 4 seconds. That sounds sweet. 6 seconds to 4 seconds is a big ass increase, and it's going to be hard to stay alive for 10 seconds with priority target on you. Or Dogpiler. Increases the extra damage suffered by enemies by priority target for another 16%. I'd go with the extra 4 seconds, to be honest. Because that makes it harder for them to escape. I just think the extra duration is a little bit better. Long Watch. Increases shield boosters over shield duration for another 6 seconds. Yeah. That definitely sounds pretty good. because they keep that shield and you can restore that with pulse, and they also can get shield regen during that. So going from 8 seconds to 6 seconds is a big deal, especially for someone like Boulder, Miko, Reyna, or even your slower tanks like Isaac, Montana. It's going to be, a lot harder to take them out. But pretty much anybody, even like a Wrath, who is going to get hit a lot while he's in there staying alive with his lifesteal, but if you had a shield to his life, on top of his lifesteal while he's up close, he's going to be really hard to get down. Or kinetic deflection, a portion of the damage absorbed by shield booster over shields is reflected back at the attacker, which also sounds nice. God, I don't know. 15% isn't a lot of that damage put back, but it's enough to help, and it can turn the tide of a battle. But man, having a shield booster for 14 seconds, that's a long time, especially when you can increase your priority target to 10 seconds. So, you weaken your enemy and you strengthen your ally. I mean, it majorly turns the tide of that battle, especially when they're both over 10 seconds. Then her ultimate, Blunderdome, disables the shields of all enemies within Photonic Ward's area of effect. Hell yeah. That's going to leave them squishy as hell. Mobility module increases the duration of Photonic Ward and causes the shield to follow Reyna as she moves. So an extra 4 seconds, and it can move with you so you can keep your allies in it. Hell yeah. I don't know which one of these I like better. They both sound so sweet. But Reyna looks like a ton of fun as a support character. I like playing support characters. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking at learning how to play her. She looks to have a ton of good options. And she definitely looks like she can turn the tide of a battle quite well. Especially if you have her and a healer on your team. It definitely looks like you'll have a big advantage over a team that just tries to go all 5 damage dealers. So, yeah, quite excited about her. Hope you guys are too. And I love all these characters, how they're all different, how they all affect the battle differently. I'm quite excited to try that out. So anyways, thanks for watching once again, and I will see you guys later. Bye.